Have you ever been stuck in that loop? You know the one. You're consuming tons of information, books, articles, videos, but then you look up and realize your actual life hasn't changed one bit. Well, in this explainer, we're going to tackle that exact problem, how to finally close that frustrating gap between knowing something and actually doing it. It all starts innocently enough, right? You're curious, you want to improve, so you read the books, you highlight the sentences that really hit you, you save those awesome quotes that feel like they could change everything. And in that moment, you get this little hit of excitement. It's a small rush that feels really good. It feels like progress. You feel like you're literally becoming a better, smarter person just by taking all this knowledge in. But then, what happens? That initial spark kind of fades. A few days go by, then a few weeks, and that momentum you felt from that new big idea, it just sort of evaporates. And when you take a look around, you realize that despite all that learning, your life is pretty much the same. The same old habits, the same routines, the same roadblocks are all still there. So what is going on here? Well, this brings us to something really important called the knowledge trap. This is the idea that learning, which feels so productive and so good, can actually turn into a hiding place, a way to avoid the messy, scary work of making a real change. This quote just nails it. Knowledge isn't a tool here, it's a shield. It becomes this cozy, safe little bubble where you get all the feelings of progress without any of the real-world risks of failure or looking stupid. So look, the issue isn't that you're not smart enough or that you're missing some secret piece of information. The real battle, the reason so many of us get stuck, is this fundamental conflict between just reading about something and actually executing on it. And this quote, wow, it uses one powerful word to show the difference: violent. Execution isn't gentle. It's not neat and tidy. It's messy. It forces a collision with reality. Let's just break this down. Look at these two columns. Reading, it's easy, it's invisible, nobody can see you doing it, so nobody can judge you, and most of all, it's safe. But execution, it's violent. Like we said, it leaves you exposed to criticism and failure. It is, by its very nature, risky. I mean, is it any wonder our brains want to hang out in that first column all day? Okay, so how do we escape this trap? We need a totally new strategy. It's time to stop reading like a student who's trying to ace a test and start reading like a thief. Think about it. A thief doesn't go into a house to admire the decor. They get in, they find one valuable thing, and they get out. Fast. That's your new mindset. Open the book and ask one question. What is the single tiniest action I can steal from this and do today? Grab that one thing and get out. And this is absolutely crucial. You are not aiming for a massive lifestyle change. You're not trying to become a whole new person overnight. You are just looking for one small move. If the book's about focus, don't try to redesign your entire work-life balance. Just turn off your phone notifications for 1 hour. That's the move. That's the win. This whole idea of small moves leads us right into our next big concept: choosing to run experiments instead of aiming for a massive transformation. The word transformation feels so heavy, so permanent, but experiment, that's light, it's temporary, just about gathering some data. And this right here, this might be the most important takeaway of all. Why do small experiments work so well? Because they create proof. Motivation is just a feeling. It comes and goes. It's totally unreliable. But when you take a small action, you create actual tangible proof that you can do it. And that proof, that sticks in your brain. You know, we put so much pressure on ourselves with this question. How do I apply this entire 300-page book to my life? It's just overwhelming. It implies this huge permanent change, and honestly, it usually leads to doing nothing at all. So let's just change one word. Let's reframe the entire question. Instead of apply, let's use the word test. How can I test this one idea for a few days? All of a sudden, the pressure is gone. There's no big identity shift on the line. It's just an experiment. This tiny switch can change everything. All right, to make all of this really stick, you can't just rely on mindset. You need a system. It's time to stop collecting pretty notes that just sit there and start building an actual action system that turns those insights into real wisdom. From now on, every single note you take has to pass a 3-part test. As you can see here, you need to answer 3 questions. 1, what's the core insight? 2, what is the specific action it's telling me to do? And 3, what's the context? When and where exactly am I going to do it? If a note can't answer all three, it's not actionable, and you get rid of it. And the last piece of the puzzle is to give inaction some consequences. Right now, there's no cost to just learning and never doing, so you have to make it expensive. Create some simple rules. For example, if you don't act on a new insight within 48 hours, you have to stop reading. If you don't actually test an idea, you have to delete the notes you took. Basically, you lose the privilege to consume more information if you don't move. We've covered new mindsets and we've covered a practical systems. But all of this really is pointing to one final, deeper barrier that we just have to face head on. And here it is. This is the truth. The gap between where you are and where you want to go, it's not an information gap. You probably already know enough to get started. The real gap, it's a courage gap. It's the courage to take a step before you feel 100% ready. The courage to look imperfect and to move without knowing the final destination. Because let's be totally honest with ourselves, potential is worthless, insight is cheap, good intentions are a dime a dozen. The world doesn't reward any of those things. The world only, and I mean only, rewards movement. So the final question isn't what should I do anymore? It's when. You don't need another book, you don't need another video, you need one small, imperfect action. And you need to take it right now, today. This is AI Whispers signing off.